Okay, so we're going to show you somebody that has that pre-population within the system. So we're going to go ahead and search for Bailey, and we have Bernice here. And we're going to go ahead and click Not Started for the status. And we're going to go ahead and select Yes to all the questions. So in the previous reporting period, Bernice had all yeses to the main questions. So since we said yes to all the main questions in the previous reporting period, we're going to have the ability to have that pre-population for this reporting period since we've said yes to the same questions. So here we see that we have yes to that main question, and we have a box that says name of the employer. If we click on that drop down, we're going to be able to see what has been entered for this individual before. So because we did not, as Hamilton County Board, provide services to Bernice before, we have the ability to select information that has been entered for the individual before. So we can see that Bernice worked at Here We Are, the Godfather, and the Smithsonian previously. So we're going to go ahead and say we are now supporting Bernice and Here We Are and the individual competitive job. When we click that, it's going to give you a notice saying you selected a response from the previous reporting period. Please review and edit for accuracy and then submit. So then if we scroll down, you can see that it pre-populated all the information. So it has the name of the employer, has the wages and the hours, how that person typically gets to work, if they're eligible for fringe benefits, and if they're receiving fringe benefits, and that occupation. Again, it's really critical that you enter correct information and edit anything that has been changed. So for Bernice, she had a raise and her hours have changed. So we edited all of that information, but everything is still the same. If you are providing supports to Bernice in more than one individual competitive job, you're just going to click Add Job again, and it's going to do the same exact thing where it allows you to choose another job that another provider previously entered for her. If you are not providing supports for the Godfather or Smithsonian, you're just going to select none of the above, and it's going to give you those blank text fields so where you can enter what you need in there. So we're going to put DODD again, the average hours and wages, how that person gets there, if they're eligible for fringe benefits, and if they're receiving fringe benefits, which benefits they're receiving, and then the occupation. You can add more or you can save and continue. We're going to go ahead and save and continue. And it's going to bring us to that second question, what jobs they're provided support for the group integrated job. So again, you can see that we have the drop down where you can see previously entered jobs for Bernice. We're going to go ahead and select Ooh Girl Who Did Your Hair Salon. And again, it's going to pre-populate that information, but you're going to be very diligent in editing anything that is not correct. So is the employer a Medicaid provider? Yes. The average hours and wages, we're going to change because she's no longer working there as much because she got a raise at the other place. Not eligible for fringe benefits. Again, we can add another group integrated job where it allows us to select another previously entered job, or like we did with the competitive job, you can select none and just add in the information that you want. But we're going to go ahead and say that we're helping her with the funky monkey, and going to make sure all the information is correct. Everything's good, so then we're going to save and continue. And it's going to take us to the facility-based main question. Again, because she had another provider say yes to this main question in a previous year, information was entered. Now that we're providing supports and we said yes, we have that ability to go ahead and select one of these. She's working at Luke's Diner because I am a Gilmore Girls fan. And all that information is correct because you're going to make sure everything is there. If it's not, if there's, too many zeros, you're going to go ahead and change all of that information. We're going to go ahead and add another facility-based work. Again, you have that ability to select So What or Friday Fun. We're going to go ahead and do So What. And the average wages and hours are correct. And then we're going to save and continue. So now we're at self-employment, where it lets us choose the occupation. So if you remember, we don't ask the name of the employer. We ask just the wages and hours and the occupation for self-employment. So previously we did personal care and service, so we're going to go ahead and select that, and it pre-populates that information. You can add as many as you need. So let's go ahead and add self-employment. Let's go ahead and do healthcare support. So you can see that it does pre-populate. If you again make a mistake, there is this delete button right over here. You're just going to select that and confirm that you do want to delete it. And then we're going to go ahead and save and continue. Here you can see that nothing has been pre-populated for facility-based non-work, and that's because nobody provided those services for her. So we're just going to go ahead and fill that in and save and continue. Again, same thing for community-based non-work. We're just going to add the hours in there. Save and continue, and it's going to take us to that summary page again, where you're going to make sure everything is accurate. And once everything is accurate, go ahead and submit it. If you do need to make changes, again, you have that paper and pen or pencil right here, where if you click it, it will take you back to that. So then when you submit it, it's going to take you back to your dashboard, where Bernice is now going to be within that completed stage. You can see here in completed, Bernice is here. Now we're going to switch over to Cuyahoga County. Cuyahoga County previously provided services to Bernice. So we're going to show you the other piece of the pre-population. So you saw where Hamilton County Board was not a previous provider for Bernice, but you had that pre-population ability because she had providers enter information for her. Because Bernice had information provided by Cuyahoga County Board, it will look a little bit different when we do the pre-population. So we're going to say yes to all 6 questions. We're going to save and continue. And now that you can see, you have this big red alert here. It says your questionnaire has been pre-populated with the responses from the previous reporting period for this individual. Please review all answers to make updates and save each page before attempting to submit your questionnaire. So you can see, because Cuyahoga County Board said yes to individual in a competitive job and entered information the previous reporting period, and they're saying yes to this main question again, all of the information is automatically filled into the drop-down boxes. So you can see the godfather, the average wages, hours, how the person gets there, eligible for fringe benefits, and occupations have been entered. So that's really kind of nice. It saves you time. You would just want to make sure that you edit it for accuracy and make sure anything that has changed, you add it in there. If I'm now supporting Bernice in another individual competitive job, you're just going to add individual competitive job like we have done previously. And because there have been other entries entered for her, again, you have that drop-down box again, so it doesn't pre-populate into the text boxes automatically because we were not the provider of that service at that time, but you do have the ability to add in a job that was previously done by another provider. So you can see all of that stuff now has pre-populated. We're going to head and save and continue and go to that group integrated job. So now you can see, because we said yes to group integrated job the previous year, we said yes to supporting Bernice in this group integrated job again this year. It has pre-populated all the answers that we entered for Bernice the previous year. So again, you're going to make sure that everything is correct. So she's still working at a provider-owned business called Ooh Girl Who Did Your Hair Salon. The employer is a Medicaid provider, so that's changed. Going to make sure the wages and hours are accurate and eligible or not for fringe benefits. Again, we can add another group integrated job, or we can just move on. So we're going to go ahead and save and continue. It's going to take us to facility-based work. Again, we said yes to the main question for Bernice in the previous reporting period. We're saying yes this year for facility-based work. So she's still working at Luke's Diner. Average hours and wages are still the same. So there's no need for any edits. But it's really kind of nice because it just pre-populates everything for you. And this is going to happen for you in the fall as well, because we are updating the outcome tracking system with some of the data that you have entered into the Employment First outcome tracking system. So if you said yes to facility-based work previously, it will automatically pre-populate the information in the outcome tracking system in the fall. So we are trying to save you time and energy, and we just want to make sure that you are making sure everything is edited and as accurate as possible. So again, we said yes to self-employment, that the individual is in self-employment. We said yes in the previous reporting period. We said yes now, so it's going to pre-populate that information. If they're, again, working in more than one self-employment, you can click Add Self-Employment, and because another provider provided services and self-employment, you can select one of the other ones and it will pre-populate for you. You can see in the parentheses who provided that service previously. So we're going to go ahead and save and continue, and it's going to take us to facility-based non-work. Again, since we said yes to this main question in the previous year, it's pre-populating for us this year because we said yes to providing the individual facility-based non-work services. Again, it's just the average hours for this individual for this service, facility-based non-work. So again, if anything changes, you're just going to want to make sure that you edit it, and then you're going to save and continue. Again, it's pre-populated because we said yes last year, and we said yes this year. So the pre-population is really nice because it saves you a little bit of time. If you provided the services the previous year, it will automatically pre-populate the information for you. If you never provided the service and you said yes to a main question, but somebody else said yes the previous year, it will give you that drop down to allow you to choose which selection you want to do. After you review the summary, again, you're just going to click Submit, and it's going to take you back to that dashboard where that questionnaire is now going to be shown in your completed questionnaires. So if we go back to Cuyahoga County Board's dashboard, we click the completed circle, you can see that now Bernice is there. So now when we click View for her master record, you're going to be able to see all the information. So you can see Hamilton County Board's information. And if we scroll down, you're going to see Cuyahoga County Board's information. So this is the really nice thing about that master record, where whatever you entered and anybody else entered, you're going to be able to see that. You're going to be able to print it, and you're going to be able to take those to the team meetings where you're going to be able to talk that bigger picture about that person with that person in their meetings. So that is the questionnaire queue, entering data for the first time, and the pre-population selection. I want to show you the assignment queue again, because we only kind of touch base on that. So again, if you remember, the assignment queue is only for county board users and ICF users. And again, If you're an ICF and you also have waiver provider services and individuals have been pulled into your dashboard, only those that reside in an ICF will have this text box over here in this column here. So this is where you would do the check boxes, and you can select multiple individuals that you want. And then you're going to select the assigned provider that's going to pop up. When you do that, it's going to give you that pop-up screen where, again, you're going to click Get Provider, and you're going to select all the providers that need to be assigned. So anybody that is working for that person, whether it is a county board and the individual is just receiving SSA services, and they don't have a provider supporting them in that job, you're going to assign the individual to yourself as the county board, and then you're going to answer those questionnaires. If the individual is receiving locally funded monies for services, then you're going to assign those providers this way, and then that will automatically be pulled up into their outcome tracking system. So you're going to select the individuals. You see all the individuals listed here. You're going to get provider. You're going to add all those over here. Again, you can click on these X's to get rid of any kind of provider if you accidentally selected one that you didn't need. So we have Goodwill Columbus here and Goodwill Industries Northwest. We're going to go ahead and exit that one out because I accidentally did that. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and click Save, and you're going to confirm. When you say yes, you're going to exit out of here, and you're going to refresh your page, and then it's real live time, so those individuals will automatically be pulled into those dashboards automatically. So if you're on the phone with a provider and they say, hey, I don't have Bernice, can you please send Bernice to me? You can do it right then and there. The provider refreshes their dashboard. That individual, Bernice, will then show up on their dashboard to complete. So that's the assignment queue. Then the advanced search down here, again, if you just search for that reporting period, you're going to see all the individuals in your reporting county. When you do the advanced search and you click, you can see all the individuals listed down here. The nice thing about the advanced search is you have the ability, again, to select individuals and assign the provider. So the steps that we just did, you can do that from the advanced search, which is really very useful. With this, you can export to Excel. So if you want to see all the individuals that need to be assigned yet, named Smith, or for a particular provider for Hamilton County Board, then you can search for those criteria up here and then export it. If you need to do a second search, you're going to have to click clear first, and then you'll be able to enter the information in again. So then you can search for that person. If that person's not there, it's going to say no data available in that table. And if somebody is missing, we're not going to be able to add them into the system once the pull happens. So that's why it's so important to ensure that you are marking for county boards, that you're marking CRM, IDS services, and supports, so all of those individuals will be pulled into the outcome tracking system and we can get as accurate a count as possible. We do understand that some people are going to be missed, and that's completely fine because we know that it is a snapshot in time. We're going to be able to catch them that next year. So we're going to have a good baseline in the fall of 2020, and we're going to go forward. Some people wanted to know why we chose September for capturing the data. So again, all these questionnaires that are listed here, you're going to be answering those 6 main questions and those sub-questions based on that month of September. So when we worked with our national partner SELN, they had done some research regarding the most stable months of employment for individuals with disabilities. Summer and winter months aren't as stable because you have seasonal work. A lot of individuals may be medically fragile, so they can't actually work a lot of hours during the winter, and you have those seasonal and holiday jobs. So they said in the fall, September or August or September were the most stable months for data collection for employment. So we chose September, so that way we can get the most accurate data for the most stable employment for our individuals. So again, when you're doing the questionnaires for these individuals, they're going to be pulled into the system 15 days prior to the reporting period, and you're only going to answer those 6 questions and those sub-questions based on what you provided in the month of September.